SNK had been publishing a lot of Neo Geo Pocket ports to Switch, and after 6 standalone releases, they decided to make a collection that also includes 4 new games, titled Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1. Arguably, this collection includes some of the retro handheld's best titles. Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1 includes 10 of the system's biggest hits. When thinking of SNK, it's normal to think of fighting games, and many Neo Geo Pocket games capitalized on that, making this volume dominated by those titles. Compared to their console or arcade versions, these titles can seem a little downscaled, but it's still impressive how rich and detailed they are. With only directionals, 2 buttons, and a very restrictive limitation in both graphical and sound aspects, it's amazing that they were even able to make these competent fighters at all. Besides the fighters, the collection includes 4 games that weren't sold individually prior. These titles include Metal Slug First Mission, Metal Slug Second Mission, Dark Arms, Beast Buster 1999, and Big Tournament Golf. This group of titles adds a variety to the package, being 3 action games and a sports title. Though Metal Slug may be the more recognizable name, I'd argue Dark Arms Beast Buster 1999 was one of the most impressive games in the collection. This is an action RPG spin-off with inspiration from horror B-movies. The player has to explore areas like a graveyard and a small village where a werewolf situation is occurring. By defeating supernatural creatures with a gun called the Catcher, it's possible to get their souls. Dark Arms features day and night cycles, which changes the enemies you find and the area's layout. Also, certain doors only open at a specific time, and the same can be said for the bosses and the story events. The chiptune music offers a complement to the darker vibe as well. The 2 Metal Slug games are interesting spin-offs from the series. They aren't only reminiscent of their number counterparts, but also present a unique way to explore the missions. Instead of simply giving a game over, sometimes the player's failure will lead to an alternate path. This allows for some variation as the player will be able to see different routes, and it serves as a motivation to improve or play again and experiment with different outcomes. Each area may have multiple layers, hidden items, and people to rescue. At the end of each mission, you'll be evaluated and provided with a ranking. Though the first game was good looking by Neo Geo Pocket standards, Second Mission is a clear improvement overall. Besides the more detailed graphics for characters and backgrounds, it has 2 main characters with their own stories, radio transmission briefing the missions, a rescue list with funny descriptions, and time attack mode. Metal Slug Second Mission also features voices for the power-ups to have more glorious pineapple and machine gun cheesy audio that the series is known for. However, whenever this happens, it's noticeable how the game freezes and lags. There's also a slowdown when there are too many characters or objects in play, and the same can be said for a few points on First Mission. Though it might have been kept for the fidelity of the original game, it's frankly sad not to see this slowdown fixed. It's especially egregious because the fighting games have such smooth performances, so it feels odd and less polished. Last and probably least in people's minds is Open Tournament Golf. However, it's a good addition to the collection not only because it adds variety, but because it's a really cute and interesting little game, and one that I was already fond of back in the day. Based on the Neo Geo game of the same name, Open Golf Tournament could be considered a simplified version with chibi sprites and a little less content than its counterpart. However, by itself, it's an enjoyable game even for those who aren't familiar with the sport. The game has 3 courses and 6 playable characters, each with its own stats like accuracy and putting. Besides the versus mode, which can be played by sharing your Joy-Con on the Switch version, the game has 3 other modes available. It should be said that this game is plodding though, which isn't a problem but highlights the limitations of the rewind feature. The animations here just take time, and the limited capabilities of the feature make it tough to be used effectively compared to save states or other similar functions. The entire collection has a few new features, such as playing the titles on a black and white Neo Geo Pocket or the minimally enhanced Japanese exclusive new Neo Geo Pocket. It is also possible to play the English or Japanese versions of the games, which allows you to look at a virtual box to check out the cartridges and manuals. The features are a little bare, very simple additions to the games. The manuals were a nice touch, and I'm sure that the multiple versions could be useful for speedrunners, but other than that, it isn't anything game-changing to make people more likely to get them. Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1 is a great collection that includes most of the must-haves from the SNK handheld. However, the Metal Slug games still suffer from noticeable lag, which hurts their inclusion. Despite that, retro gamers and those who love SNK fighters should own this little piece of magic handheld history. Noisy Pixel is giving Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1 an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at NoisyPixel.net. NoisyPixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.